Yeah, this is point blank. Coming in hard and off the card, coming with the flow from the barrio, coming with the heat from the street, and coming with the boom bip to the lying ass lips. You know what I'm saying? With the flow from the barrio, the heat from the street, to the facts that crack backs, to the boom bip to the lying ass lips. This is PBNN, Point Black National News, the late and the great edition and the ghetto edition as well. Because this is what we must do in all ways. Now, today we see a lot of ramping up on Trump. Everybody's coming with so much bad news about what Trump did and what Trump did not, and so forth on, and all this different factual, actual, and many things. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of people who is out there spreading all type of propaganda based on things that you created in itself to go that way and fall that way. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to say he only had 4 years. You know what I'm saying? We see even Al Sharpton is up there running his Trapper John MD, running his lips as usual, with all types of bullshitical con artists, statistical talk, and trying to keep black people into that matrix of his holy religion, not mine. You know what I'm saying? So today we see where even in many ways we see where even the polling sites, you know what I'm saying? There's even polling site scams. There's even polling site scams, you know what I'm saying? And the Board of Elections warn voters. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in by, it looks like Jana, you know what I'm saying? But the Board of Elections is warning people there's some polling sites, and I wonder how many of those fake polling sites they use, in the 2020 election. You know what I'm saying? But we see it says voters beware. The New York State Board of Election warning voters of reports of unsolicited text messages in recent days from an outside group with incorrect polling sites information. The Board of Elections say they have received reports, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. So we received reports of voters, you know what I'm saying, across the state receiving unsolicited um, text messages, you know what I mean, in more ways than one. You know, saying containing incorrect polling information for tomorrow's primary. You know what I'm saying? Well, we see that going on. You know what I mean? The primary has already went down, and then we see another one coming in here where Joe Biden warns we're up against extremists in the video. I guess the video marked Dobbs' anniversary, coming in by Brett Samuels, 18 hours ago, off the Hill, Eastern Standard Time. But we see even here in this one, you know what I mean? In this one, we see here where, let's see here, we see here in this one where Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, warns we're up against extremists, Dobbs, making it the Dobbs anniversary. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Biden campaign on Monday, you know what I'm saying, lands a full-fledged push to highlight 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, highlighted highlighted by a video in which the president Joe Biden cites former Trump's votes about ending Roe versus Wade. But when it comes to Roe versus Wade, you know what I'm saying, that's a health issue and a mental issue at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Where we see that individuals will be so supportive of abortion based on what rights, I don't know. Because for you to figure that you could just go out, have sex, have babies, hide the baby, do this, do that, and the next thing you know, you chop the baby up out your guts and throw it to the side. You know what I'm saying? You have to make better decisions because this is coming out to be one big fucking joke. As we see, he's going to say, here's what Donald Trump said about your freedom. What freedom is he talking about when it's a health issue and a mental health issue in more ways than one, and a criminal issue as well because people do rape and all types of sex trafficking bullshit, but they're still talking about an abortion. And then at the same time, people go out and party and have babies or whatever, or however they get pregnant, and then their mother run and say, "Oh well, you made a mistake, daughter," and you run them down into the clinic to get a gut out like a fish. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what rights does the child have inside the stomach that they could argue the point of procreation to be something that is just a run-around political football game. You know what I'm saying? Even saying that Trump, one of Trump appointees, was the one who helped to overturn it to where they started putting out abortion bans. No, it didn't. They allowed them to have their free will in this matter of their trickery game that they're playing. I don't know from which side to which, but we know the game is being played. And then by Roe versus Wade being overturned, it moved the public in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? And many people get upset, and many people protest and all this and that and the third, causing mad protests across the land in many ways. But to me, it's all a trickery game. What is slinging the shot back and forth from both sides of the aisle? They still come out to the same thing by using Roe versus Wade and overturning it for the purpose of the Republican. It would still say, "What a time for it to happen." So, what game are they really playing? Is the question that we ask. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, here's what Donald Trump said about your freedom after 50 years of failure. 50 years of failure. Wait a minute. Donald Trump only had 4 years. Where did 50 years come in? He's saying Donald Trump said here, after 50 years of failure, with nobody coming even close. You know what I'm saying? I was able to kill Roe versus Wade, you know what I'm saying? Creep Joe Biden, say in a video quoting May 2023 and True Social Post Forum. You know what I'm saying? 50 years of what? When it comes to Roe versus Wade or anything to do with a woman's rights of abortion and these different things must be worked out not used as a political football in order to weigh the minds of the people from the left to the right and put on such a great poppy show. You know what I'm saying? But 2 years ago, the Supreme Court Justice, you know what I'm saying, that Trump, listen to it, that Trump handpicked helped overturn Roe versus Wade. Creep Joe Biden added in a 45-second published by his campaign. Yeah, okay. And you've been using this as a political football back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Many people don't agree necessarily with abortion. And many people, you know what I'm saying, go out and do abortion loosely. And you can imagine the thousands and millions of unborn babies that's inside their stomach, their eggs, screwing with their inside, really to me. And it becoming an issue. It's a medical health issue and a mental issue that needs to be addressed, and a criminal as well, which means that there can be criminal entities within the group. But a decade of progress shattered just because the last guy, 4 years in the White House, Biden continues. But Roe versus Wade was going on long before the 4 years of Donald Trump. So that's an inheritance in itself. The president was on to warn Roe is just the beginning for the Republicans who he said could target birth control and so forth on. It still comes out to a health issue and it's not a football political issue. So you could get the minds of the women to vote for you so you can blow us to smithereens in a nuclear war, I guess. But we see you talking about a nationwide abortion ban. We're up against extremists. Oh, yes, you see the psychology and the wordplay in which he's trying to kick off and move down the line with. Same thing I found with Al Sharpton. And I'm putting a recording up there of Al Sharpton talking about Donald Trump, and all he's doing the whole time is Trump bashing. He's not mentioning one wrong thing on the Democratic side. Is what we see in the matter. But he's saying we're up against extremists. Biden added. Send me back to the White House to hear him. Send him back to the White House, and I'll fight like hell to restore Roe versus Wade and the protection of women's rights. You see what I'm saying? So we know for well that is what it is. That they're using Roe versus Wade as a political football in the 2024 and probably the 2020 election and many other elections that it hasn't been. Now, when he's saying matters like, put him back in the White House and Trump this and Trump that and all this bullshit he's talking, what we see in the matter is that, the same thing Al Sharpton will be trying to say that he did this and he did that. It still only comes out to 4 years. You're trying to accuse him of things that were not in possibility of the presidency or his presidency in the 4 years of his presidency. You try to find things outside of it. You try to find things that happened before it, and you try to find things that happened after it, but you're still not adding the 4 years in its clarity as to what's going on. Many people say that he did this and he did that, and then he said he inherited this and he inherited that, and he screwed up this and he screwed up. But when you look at this same shit, he's talking about how Obama, in more ways than one, saved us from the recession. He saved unemployment. Al Sharpton saying that Obama and Biden, save us from a recession. But and then he's trying to say this and say that. But and then when you say that Trump inherited or however he got to where that, the point remains is who had it before. You see what I'm saying? So if he inherited for 4 years, he inherited from whom? Who had the last 47, maybe 50 years of rule? You know what I'm saying? Talking about a recession. You know what I'm saying? But and then talking about Obama and Biden and Obama clearly, Obama is the one that created it in the first place. For it to be a recession, it has to be orchestrated and created, same as you had in the orchestration of the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look that up. You know what I'm saying? Then he said some bullshit about Fauci, you know what I'm saying, told Trump that he told Trump, I guess he said, didn't need you to know. And I guess what he was trying to say that Fauci told him that you're going to need these things and this, that, and Trump, you know what I'm saying? He said Trump delayed and Trump made a lot of people this and die and all this and that because he didn't approve with Fauci, and Fauci was sitting up there pushing this agenda of this great one coming along with Bill Gates and then the foundation and Billy the Gold Gates Baphomet ass. But we know that whole story in itself. You know what I'm saying? And then he after went on to talk about, you know what I'm saying, faith. You know what I'm saying? Here we go with the faith again. You know what I'm saying? Faith in what? Faith in ourselves is what we must have. If that's the case, not the faith in some God that he's talking about, but a faith in us as the self. Because like I said, for Trump to inherit all these bullshit, he only had 4 years. In 4 years span of time, he did what he could do, but he inherited the problem for the last 47 years or better prior of democratic rule. So they was fucking shit up long before Trump came along and hanging on to that seat, same as Biden talking about send me back and I'll fight for hell for Roe versus Wade. This is the technique they use, the Democrats use it, Roe versus Wade trickery, in order to get the women to vote for them. You know what I'm saying? And more shit like that, and psychologically move their brains back to the left and back to the right, and, bipartisan and up the nose. You know what I'm saying? But he talking about some fading down and this and that, and quoting old Bible stories and taking that old time screwed up ass bullshit, nigger ass religion and running it down on black people. Black people need to start making better decisions rather than sitting in the crowd talking about and all type of stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And not see the bigger picture in all ways. So that means that Al Sharpton and many other civil rights leaders have been using this God theory, to hold black people mentality down to a certain point, and then even orchestrating, in all ways, whether it's right, or left, or either side of the aisle, orchestrating all kind of trickery garbage game, and swaying the minds of the people while they're facing a nuclear war and a nuclear standoff coming real strong. And we can see that already. And then we have the fake religion in the Gaza Strip. That's an invader into Egypt and an occupier, oppressor. Invader, occupier, and an oppressor, of great racism, genocidal and genocide behavior in all ways, but calling themselves and writing a so-called book that they say is BC, ADC, and 3DC, and all kind of BC. You've been working together, even going back to whatever time you want to BBC and ABC and 1, 2, 3. You're dizzy behind. But you ain't all that. That's probably probably a 19th century new matrix. And then he went on to say some bullshit about who made the river. He started showing that old time religion, talking about who made the river, who made the sun, who made us to live in slavery and get shoot down by the gun, and who dragged us from our home, and in order to occupy our land and call themselves who we are and give us their identity, and even more so say we're slaves when we're the original people, and who made this and who made, he said, I just threw that in, and who made this and who made that. But I'm asking him a question, who made your con artist, twisted, crook ass? Is a question that we must ask. Who made the crooks? Is a question. Why you say he made this and he made that? Who made the crooks? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? So, while he busy trying that old time religion and trying to swing Donald Trump this and swing Donald Trump, he ain't said one good thing about nothing good that Donald Trump did. All he did was bash Donald Trump, told his people he was speaking to, and you'll see it because I'm gonna put it up there, and the whole entire time swindle them into our old time religion as well. What we see here where Al stay running that old time religion, who do he think is stupid is a question I'm asking, talking about God. God need to stop. Well, because you talking straight bullshit. And I don't know who the hell he think is stupid and still trying to use that God and all of this and that. Because if you look at it, You know what I'm saying? All this God that he's been talking about for the last 47, 50 years, going on 50, 60 years, going back to Albert Pike, you know what I'm saying? Forrest Nathan Bradford, the Confederates splitting off and creating civil war, and then and even before there was carnage, war, carnage, war, all the way up to now. You know what I'm saying? So, Sharp don't want to talk all that bullshit he talking. You know what I'm saying? He needs to tell God, you know, to stop the wars, stop the massacre and carnage of people's lives, you know what I'm saying, across the world. While you talking about God, tell God stop the genocide, you know what I'm saying, across the planet. You know what I'm saying? He's singing a good old song, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't, you know what I'm saying, strong. It's weak. And the bullshit that he's been running down on black people for years, Al Sharpton ain't no more to me than a fucking crook coming with a so-called, what he called, the good book. You see what I'm saying? Which is reverse psychology. And the black people around him need to open up their minds past that reverse psychology nonsense, or past that matrix in their brain, and start to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because you talking on that jazz, you know what I'm saying? You singing that old song, but it ain't strong. You know what I'm saying? And it's crooked, lying, and criminal. You know what I'm saying? And it costs many lives. And he needs to prove God. You know what I'm saying? He needs to prove God, not just say God and keep telling the people God, God, God. Tell him to prove God. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Prove that there is even a God, you know what I'm saying, outside of man. You know what I'm saying? Outside of man, you know what I'm saying, doing it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of man even speaking it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, outside of man speaking for God and doing it for God. You know what I'm saying? And doing it for God. You know what I'm saying? They cannot prove God in no shape or form. So while our Sharpton and the rest of these people are constantly running this down on our people, you know what I'm saying, and our people going for it and believing everything this clown is saying, you know what I'm saying, talking about how Obama saved the recession, and how Obama did this, and how Obama did that, and all type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then he's saying that this and that, and then he did admit that Trump inherited, but like I said, he needs to clarify more better. Where did Trump inherit it from? Because if you're doing the smooth, slick and talk and jig, and then when the people get upset, you come up with the Jesus Christ group, you know what I'm saying, and you start talking all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying, and then that you convincing people into following behind you just to keep you. So he's definitely a religious demon Democrat, because all he has ever been doing is teaching people to follow behind Democrats in all ways. And then when shit comes down the pike, they're talking about he coming to save the day. He ain't saving no day, because the problem was created by those in which he followed and those in which he served. So he was just talking about, you know what I'm saying, who made the river and who made the sun from sea to shine and sea, you know what I'm saying? We still asking his crook ass, well then who made the crooks? You know what I'm saying? Coming with lion lips of sweet abomination, when the whole time all they're talking about is getting you to be convinced into following them, while they simply pacify you with these beautiful words of they saying the truth, but it's not in any shape or form, because the truth of it is that it's a lie in its actions behind of it. You know what I'm saying? That you cannot see. You know what I mean? So, Al Sharpton needs to jump up off of Trump's back and go bring a candidate that would be strong enough, because, contrary to the point, he ran for presidency and he didn't even win a stick, grease, or chicken. You know what I'm saying? And he needed to get there with a two-piece and a biscuit. But at the same time, he didn't do very well. You know what I'm saying? In all ways. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm asking him again. in all ways, who are you working for? And also, since God created the rivers, the sun, moon, and stars, who create the crooks, the criminals, and the genocidical behavior, and the genocidical so-called whatever beings they want to call themselves, and the shit that y'all have done across this planet for years. You know what I'm saying? Trump comes in 4 years and had the country running as smooth as possible. You know what I'm saying? And you cheated the election and came in and you completely crashed the United States straight down the line into every trickery garbage that you had already chunked up for years and were constantly using as your strategy on the people in their ways. The war, recession, depression, you know what I'm saying? War, you know what I'm saying? Depression, recession, you know what I'm saying? Trickery, garbage, slick talk, forked tongue, and every game that you can play in order to stay in power and keep anyone from getting in there, to straighten things out. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, you know what I'm saying? Right now, the black people falling behind of Al the Nut Gut, Al the Nut K. Sharpton should be saying right now to him, saying that they're sick and tired of the bullshit. Because if he talking about all this God and all this bullshit, why in the world is they still talking about the same thing that happened, saying, and the discrimination, the oppression, the different bullshit that they have been doing all along, all the way up to now, plotting to even eliminate and kill black people, you know what I'm saying? So we know for well that while he's talking all that bullshit about God, why in the world is it still the same and you're still preaching that same old time religion and nothing has changed? And then you're saying nothing changed. The reason why it's not going to change is because black people are depending on black dummies, just like the black civil rights, the black caucus dummies, and the rest of these people that's supposed to have been representing us in in Congress. You know what I'm saying? And that leads all the way to the big six with Martin Luther King and all of them as well, and many others, you know what I'm saying, that has shortchanged the black community in all ways, you know what I'm saying? And rather than grab onto a foundational base and creating a foundational political base, you know what I'm saying, that would give you a political strong party that would be equally strong would have been equally strong right now to hold the post of even electing and bringing forth a president or a VP in all ways, you know what I'm saying, for the people, by the people, and so on and so on. You continue down with this old time religion, hoping that when time comes, we're going to still have to rely on other people and other races of people. This has nothing to do with racism or culture. It has to do with the fact that we as a black people are a culture in itself that graced the planet for billions of years, millions of years, you know what I'm saying, long before they ever came along. So don't you think it's high time that you get off the devil's dick, you know what I'm saying? Just like they used to say with crack cocaine, you're smoking the devil's dick. Well, you're riding the devil's dick, it seems like to me, because instead of straightening your shit up, you all go right down the road with it. And then even in crisis time, you still be siding with the enemy in all ways. But constantly sitting there, letting them throw you a few trinkets here and there and everywhere, and then you believe that those trinkets mean well when their agenda that they're truly striking you with the venom is coming from another direction within their forked tongue. You must start to identify this now. You see, religion can do a number on your brain, you know what I'm saying, but your brain sure can't do a number on religion, can it? You know what I'm saying? So that means that the religion does not fit you, and it's not our culture, or it's not our God, nor it is of our race. You know what I'm saying? And black people need to start to make the foundation of that within themselves in order to be able to understand what it is they're dealing with.